Good morning to all of you, and thank you for the introduction, and also thank you for organizing this, and also for inviting us. A good friend, Dr. Bakri Musa, so we came yesterday at 11 o'clock at night, and we chilled out till 1 o'clock, right, over coffee. First of all, I would like, my request here is this: if all of you can, those at the back, you can come to the front, a little bit to the front. Can you all hear me? Right. You're good? Okay. All right. Okay, this is the first time I'm going to be using this biotechnology, nanotechnology machine. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yo, tiba, aku kan panggil. Bawa air kita. Bawa air kita.
Okay, I'm very happy to be here, and well, I hope by 10:30 there will be a full, house of people listening to a lecture on Saturday. I know that all of you work very hard, and also this is crunch time, right? Exam week, and people stay up late, and this is probably the last 2 weeks of really a lot of work that you're putting in, and I want to congratulate all of you for your continuing work, hard work. But this is probably from the conversation that I had, almost all of you are in the sciences, in the fields of science, and I think this is a very good introduction to what we call the social sciences, and also what we need to understand. And to understand, not just to understand, but also to look at things from a perspective of people, your perspective of us here, and looking back and looking at Malaysia as the country that you are from. So my talk is going to be about education, culture change, and also what we call consciousness. This is what I teach at cross-cultural perspectives, globalization, and in all the courses that I've taught, I try to bridge and bring all these things into a hybrid, area called cultural studies, and I use the tools and also the concepts of cultural studies to look at things, to analyze things, including also to look at Malaysia as an emerging country that is so hyper-modernized. Hyper-modernity is just like hyper. Right? When you're hyper, what do? You take a lot of sugar,
Getting excited.
a lot of, what's that? A lot of sugar in the morning, donuts, then you become hyper. So Malaysia is a hyper nation which is hyper modern. It's not enough. It's not baked enough to take and to grow into a country that is, suitable for what we call democracy. So this is what it's going to be about. My talk. Why is it not moving? Oh, fine. Yeah.
It's a biotechnology.
All right, this is you have to apologize, forgive me, because I grew up in a generation when there's only one television in the kampung, and then everybody will be coming and watching Hindustani and Piramli movies, so, and including also Dr. Bakri Musa's favorite movie, Batula Batutang.
The school is good.
Basically, this is going to be about since we were given a topic on One Malaysia, I thought that I'd add something called Many Melodies. What is melodies? Okay, right? Okay, not melody, right? Okay, so if you want to talk about melodies, you can speak to Dr. Bakri Musa. After this, he knows a lot about sickness and how to make people well. And also, my job is how to make people more confused. So maybe this will work. So this is what we're going to be looking at on cultural change, colonialism, and consciousness. And also, sometime in the middle of the, anytime in the middle of this conversation, this talk, you are welcome to ask questions as long as it's not, long, elaborate questions. They will take 10, 15 minutes, but at least something that you need to clarify. Because again, this is not a very easy time for all of us to wake up, listening to a lecture, especially on One Malaysia and melodies. And if I make jokes, please laugh, right? You feel happier. We are going to be talking about change, right? Change is a very interesting thing. And every time, everyone goes through change, whether individual change, communities go through change, and also countries and nations go through change, the world goes through change. Obama has changed. That's a joke. Thanks. When we want to look at change, we look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes we try to understand what is happening in this, what is happening to us, what is happening to the country, why are there so many things. As soon, the moment you come back, when you go back home every year or every 2 years, then you see changes, right? For example, sometimes when you go back to, let's say going back to Kuala Lumpur, sometimes you cannot find your way home because everything has changed. For me, when I go back to Johor Bahru, I'm afraid, I'm scared, because not just change happened, but it's no longer safe. Right? Because there's so many gangsters in Johor Bahru now. Gangs.
Yeah.
Right? There's a movie, Gangs of New York. Now there's also a movie coming out, Gangs of Johor.
Yeah.
So that's also a joke. Right? You have to understand what is the philosophy of change. Philosophy is something that has got to do with wisdom. Where do we take ourselves from here, this point to that point, and how do we take wisdom in the whole process of change? And change also must be looked at from the point of view of politics. Political change. What's happening? What happened when the country changes political power? For example, a new group of people comes in and change things. Policies change. Amendments to the constitution. A new person comes in and suddenly something else happened. It's new way of doing things, including also new slogans. We've had so many slogans for the last 50 years. Because slogans are the ones that makes people remember things. And slogans are the one that creates the kinds of, roadmap, the signpost for people to follow, so that change can be effective. Political economy of change, right? The country changes not just through political system, but also changes in political system, but political economy. Now, political economy is about understanding who owns what in the country, and what do these people use to change, to make political changes. Now, political economy is a very interesting tool. This is, I was talking to Jeffrey from Sydney Buffalo, who's doing economic geography, and the whole idea that economics and geography must be understood, just like political geography, to understand it's not just looking at things from one perspective, but we have to look at things from many hybridize. A hybrid is something that combines and takes on a new shape. So, political economy is, for example, if you want to understand, let's say, what is happening in this world today in terms of why are the weapons still being built? Why is the American empire moving further and further reaches of the world? Why is NATO going into Asia?